Hello?
Uh, Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Hello,
You?
welcome to the stream.
Thank you. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. Just remember to mute it because
Yes, I did.
you could give it a try actually. You might not even be able to hear it yourself,
Well,
but
let's see.
some people might. It's quite interesting.
No, it's not a frequency that I can hear.
Yeah.
That's fine. We'll keep the stream background music going. So do you prefer B3ach or do you have another alias that you go by?
I go by B3ach. Yeah, it's fine. Or you can
No
just call me
problem.
Danny. It's fine.
Okay. I think we can, just for sake of consistency between your Discord and chat username, perhaps I will just stick with B3ach because it's a little easier to remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. We'll go ahead and start playing the. Whoop! Don't zoom in. That breaks the breaks things apparently.
Oh goodness, yeah. If you just click the little the expansion button
Full
full
screen.
screen.
Yeah. All right. So you get to start on the questions then.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So first and foremost, what did you decide on what you were going to make for the jam?
This is one of those sort of jams where I start with my first idea, get a bit angsty about it, change, go for a completely different idea, then go back to my original one. So this was a pretty straight up, obvious choice for me when coming up with the idea. Just off the top of my brain, go with it, save as much time as possible.
All right. Press and drag from here to start an input. Okay, and then does it go to?
Yeah. So starting from, so you see, there is one bug where if you spam click, you have to click and drag.
Yeah, to where though?
Oh, you should probably. I don't know if it's appearing in your. It seems to be bugged. If you could refresh the game,
Yeah, sure.
It should like draw out a little blue line to where it should be.
All right. Maybe it's the crazy zoom resolution that I've got it at. Okay, let me try resetting the page zoom to 100% and refreshing it there.
It's using the mouse coordinates incorrectly. So if you just 100% it and then fully zoom in, it should work. So use that now. Now it should work.
Nope.
That's odd.
Let me try in Chrome, perhaps. Or
yeah, it might depend on the browser if you try on Chrome.
Yeah. Okay, that's no problem.
It's definitely works on Chrome for me.
Okay. Let's mute it in Chrome. Okay, so level 1. Like, there we go. Okay.
Does it work now? Brilliant.
Yes. Okay, so we can finally start heading up. Okay,
Yeah.
so start experimenting with this.
So it's from the beginning output to an input, and then from that output to the next one. So.
Right, so I think I understand. Oh, okay, so that's end, and then it resets afterwards.
Yep. The one downside due to game jam timings, didn't have enough time to do an input. So be really sure on your solution before you click play, because it'll delete all your lines.
Okay, because I was really hoping to be able to experiment and sort of iteratively work towards my solution.
If you haven't clicked play yet, you can double click on the blue line on the lines to remove them. So you can undo before you click play. It's just unfortunate with timings and how I set things up that I can't that you can't replay with the line staying.
All right. Well, I think I'm pretty sure of my first solution here, so I'll go ahead and start this. And there we go. Okay, it wasn't so bad.
Nah, it gets harder.
I figured, but that's a good introductory level. I mean, I think it was.
How it works.
Sorry.
Hopefully, it shows. I just keep adding more stuff. I just let you play.
Yeah, I figure that. Like I saw Vimlark playing a bit of this game, so I had some idea of what to expect. I think I would make an even simpler first level, like start with just move, like level 1, move in one direction. There, that's the end. Level 2, move in two directions, and now you understand the idea of connecting the output of one to the output of another. And then level 3 would be where you actually have to flip a switch. But, you know, I don't think it's like I clearly got it. I was able to put it together for this level. It's just the fact that I don't know. I think that it would be important to sort of
in a slower curve, yeah.
Just a tiny bit. Again, not that I didn't figure it out. It just if you want a better assurance that people will understand one concept before moving on to the other, then yeah, you can try to build it up a tiny bit more. So anyway, with that, oh sorry, go ahead. Did you have something to say?
I know. You go.
Oh, all I was going to do. Woody Adrian, I had the same issue with the game, although that was due to my time limit. Yeah, okay. It's definitely one of those things that, you know, if you. Not everyone has the ability to add in those introductory levels. If you're asking for my tips on adding introductory levels, I mean, I guess it comes down to. Let's see. Tips for creating introductory levels. I think it has to do with thinking about your game, what sets it apart from others. If it's a platforming game, people are probably going to expect to use either the arrow keys or W and A and D to move left and right. I think pretty often people expect to use space to jump nowadays, but if your game has W to jump, you probably want to call attention to that. Okay, so you're posing a question to either of us. Well, sure. I don't know, I guess I'll mention what I have to say about it, and then maybe you can talk me a bit through your process of how you planned out the introductory levels in the game. Because I think that would be a great question to hear your feedback on as well.
Yeah. So I generally follow. Actually, Mark covered this really well in one of his more recent videos. It's sort of decision ballooning or decision trees. So I start with exactly very basic, exactly what the player will use. So the way to get to the end in that one, there is only one linear route. And now in this one, there's now you'll come across that it's around 2 potential routes that you'll find. And then from the next one there'll be 3, and the next one there'll be more and more and more. But it's also, I do that as well with the amount of mechanics in the game. So you see, last one was just blue, and now this one's going to have red moving around as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the reason that I was saying to break this game in particular down into like level 1. In fact, I'll just head back to it really quickly to illustrate what I'm describing. Level 1 would just be using a cable to like click from here into moving up, and then you get to the end gate. Then level 2 would involve clicking from here from the beginning gate to move up, and then having to use from the out to the in to move to the right. And then the end goal would be around a corner. So you get used to the idea of starting from down here and then taking the output and moving to the next one. And then in the third level, that's what I would be introducing the switch.
So really slowing it down then. Yeah.
Yeah, like just making sure that it is no more than a single concept per level. Because, you know, there's nothing wrong, especially if you have a level select in the game, especially if you designate a batch of the levels as tutorial, and then players know that if they're getting it, they can sort of skip ahead. You know, that way, if they come back to the game on a repeat play, if it doesn't remember their progress, they can just say, oh, well, you know, I already know the tutorial, I can go back to the harder levels. I think that's the way that I would break it down, is I would say that you want to really introduce just one concept at a time before you start to introduce any concept in tandem with one another. And really, any time that you feel like you have to teach 2 concepts at a time, usually you can break it down and find one that is more fundamental than the other. You know, I could have done a whole lot more in my game to introduce the concepts more slowly to the player, but no, I really just throw people in off the deep end.
Yeah, I give it a go in this one. So I mean, the first level is really the whole concept of using the switchboard, and the second one is beginning to use it with the second concept is multiple wires,
Yeah.
and you'll get on to the third one, which is about interactions between even more robots.
Oh boy, yeah, I see that tap the pots change color. All right.
And you see there's one more empty pot.
Yep. Okay, so what was your development process like for this game?
Sure. It was actually a lot of concepting potential features that I could implement through a switchboard, producing the systems, and then spending about 3 hours or so on level design. So once I have a set of features, similar to Babura's You, it's once you've had a set of features, you can really think into level design or puzzle design by what themes you can do, so what you can change. So this time it's, I usually for level design in here, it's what arrow can I remove enough so you have to think about it more heavily. So if you did this one without foresight, you'd run out of ups, so you might encounter that.
I literally just encountered that as you were describing it.
Yeah, so that's where the if you think about each level, whenever you hit a specific sort of pitfall or crux or a situation, that's what I have generally named the level as in my head or in my design.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, are the level names visible at all?
No, I didn't put them in. They're just level 1, level 2, level 3. Because the way I've named them, the fact that the puzzles are named after the solution, or because I design backwards, so you start with the solution or the intended mechanic you want to play, and then make the puzzle around that. So if I show the names of the puzzle, it's quite easy to figure out how to do it. So I'll tell you the name of this puzzle. There's multiple solutions to this one.
You don't have to tell me the name if it's going to be too much of a hint.
Well, after you finish the level, if you do.
Okay, yes,
I'll tell you the name.
That sounds good. And I also appreciate that you've got subtle markings on each of these to distinguish the colors.
Yeah, it was something I had issue with a couple of times before with previous jams. Had someone who's colorblind, couldn't play the game whatsoever, so had to throw them in.
The only thing is, though, the robots themselves don't seem to have the corresponding symbols.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something I completely you did get it right on one side and then forget the other. So
yeah, it's tough. It's tough to keep in mind when you're not colorblind yourself. Like I've made plenty of games that I didn't think about the implications of whether or not someone who had color deficiency would be able to see it properly. But
yeah, the robots themselves, it would have just taken like one sprite edit. Oh, that's gonna get me now.
Well, I mean, that's always a quick thing that you could make a change to in a post-jam version.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, so speaking of which, do you have any ideas for the plans for the game going forward?
I think I will do basic changes and fix bugs, but I've got a major project I'm starting next year, so probably won't be going into that too much.
Right, okay. Yeah, so Woody Adrian is commenting, love the switchboard mechanic, and yes, I do totally agree. And yeah, I thought that this would be, I wasn't sure if this was going to be a binary readout or not, but this is your score, right? The fewer, the more elegant your solution.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
I've had a few people come and beat my scores.
Nice. Well, it's always great to feel when someone is able to get a higher score on your game than even you were able to.
I think that's I do enjoy putting the sort of the dev high score on each level.
Yeah.
Because if someone can break it, it's a really, so once you've solved the level, right, that's a really good breakthrough, and it's really cathartic to beat the level. But then to go back and beat the developer in their own game, that's something else that's people find great enjoyment out of just putting my dev logo on there. People really do enjoy beating the developer.
I can totally understand that. Yeah. So, did you have anything more you wanted to say about the development process of the game?
The mistakes I made with development of this game is about system planning. So how I initially, so the cheap not easy way I initially did the reset. So it'll reset the entire layout. So every single thing is reset to 0. But of course that makes so much life harder if you're trying to then add in features like the undo mechanic. Because then you'd have to go through all these different variables or booleans or whatever just to reset them. And in fact, you work out the all the different things that you have to learn about the engine you're using. So this game, the switchboard operates off 2 arrays that check on each other. But of course, if you click reset or click a reset, it doesn't reset the array. So just trying to find loads and loads of different bugs was about a third of the development is fixing problems that came with the system. But you learn more when you make mistakes and you find things are issues.
No, it's very true. So what did inspire the switchboard input system for the game?
So the switchboard system is it came from me sort of brainstorming the idea for like chain. So it came from linked together to chains to cables to switchboard game, and then developed from there. So that's my decision. That's my process of coming to this conclusion of what the game would be about.
All right. So, can you recommend a useful shortcut or a clever hack in the Unity engine that you would recommend to others?
Oh, this was made with Construct.
Oh.
So I can tell you about Construct a little bit.
Absolutely.
With Construct, it's actually there's a lot to. It's really powerful in that it can actually understand what you're. So Construct operates with logic boards. So it goes. It's like programming, but not. But actually, the logic boards itself are dynamic. So putting an object as a condition, the logic board suddenly begins to understand that it's talking about the object, the specific object on a screen. So you can do some really powerful stuff by targeting different things on the screen, by setting conditions that include objects. So if you have a sprite that you wanted moving, but that was part of a family, and then you just put a single condition at the start of your box saying, move this sprite, it suddenly knows to target only this sprite of this case, even if you had loads of it. It's really powerful.
Neat. Yeah, I mean, I don't use Construct myself, so it's a little lost on me, but it sounds like an interesting development methodology.
It's a bit. Construct itself is a bit strange. It's not really like other engines, because other engines follow the Unreal sort of blueprints, whereas Construct's not the same. It's programming but weird.
Sheen or Sean, I'm not sure how you prefer for me to say it. Let me know if it rhymes with what it rhymes with. Construct is fun. I used it a bunch. Nice. I use mostly Game Maker Studio for my personal projects, and then during the day I'm using Unity for professional development.
Yeah.
Nice. And Kirby1291 says that Construct 3 is their main development engine. It's like programming in an Excel spreadsheet. All right. So,
what are you doing in this puzzle then?
I mean, I think I've got the very, very beginnings of it, but again, it's kind of hard to split focus on things. So, moving the blue guy here, moving the green guy to collide with him, then hitting the switch. And then I was just thinking about what would make the most sense from there if I had enough moves to, I guess from there, if I move green up and then left and then up, I think I can repeat the iterations. Then I would just have to tell. Yeah, okay, so I think I'm going to try that. I think I'm going to bump the iterations up to 2, because green started moving up and then left, and then up, left, and then up. Actually, 3 iterations then, because 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, that would do it. And then blue moves to the right, and then telling blue to repeat is going to move blue further to the right, and then all I need to do from a flipped switch is to tell red to move up. So let's try that. Okay, so what's going to happen here is I'm going to tell blue to move to the right, okay? So blue ends up here. Green goes up, hits that. Then green goes to the left, hits the switch. Green flips the switch. And then red moves up. Then the program repeats. Blue moves again to the right, hopefully getting it in here. Then green moves up and to the left, flip the switch doesn't exist, and then the rest of the program is kind of redundant at that point, and then green moves up again. So let's try that.
Do it again.
Well, that's my thought process, at least. And then up. Okay, good. Cool. So what was the name of that level then?
You hit one of the alternate endings. The actual name of the level is stacking. So you see there are 3 robots there. You can actually stack them on top of each other in order to make a little pyramid, to make a little tower to get to the switch. And you can actually then go all the way. Each one can go into each different hole. It looks really, really graceful when you do it that way. But actually, it's one of those ones that the alternate solutions are actually much more obvious. So, but you can actually do the entire level without an iteration. So if you if you move the red one around and down, the green up, then the red up, you'll have enough up, left, and downs to get to the end.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for some reason it was just more obvious to me to use the iterations once I saw that, like, because I started the level thinking about, okay, I know I need to block out a space for something to collide with something else in order to stack up towards this switch. And, you know, what you touched upon there is that, like, even if you had said stacking, I would have been like, yeah, okay, I did think of that. But I find that sometimes when I'm constructing a level in the platform games that I make, I will use the name of the level sometimes as a hint for what the player has to do in the level. It's very much the way that Nintendo approaches like Mario levels. Like the name of the level is a hint of like what to do. So
yeah,
if you you go into like Mario Galaxy, you have to race against Boo. Then the level is named like Race Against Boo, and the game player is like, oh, okay, so I should go up to this Boo with a like racing goggles on and talk to him, and then I got to race him. And it's like a clue of like, oh, okay, it just prepares you for what you need to do.
Yeah. Like if I had to do it again, I'd probably think of probably adding names to levels. Probably think it slightly more. So the levels actually had much more. The level names had much more meaning to the player.
Yeah.
You're on level 4 now?
Yeah, I would be, but I think I'm probably going to call it there and leave the last 2 levels for others in chat to try out. Correct me if I'm wrong. Level 3, I just completed that with a score of 91,000, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay, so the iterative solution is actually slightly better
More
scoring
efficient. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm glad that I was able to think of that. I'm especially wary of level 5, but I really think it's an interesting concept for a game, so I will make sure to bookmark that one along with all the other gem games. And I already did. But let me make sure that I paste the link into chat once again. And okay, Sean, I will keep that in mind. So thank you so much for submitting the game and for. I'm sorry that it took quite a while for us to get around to it, but
No problem.
I'm glad this all worked out, and thank you for joining me in the conversation.
Right, thank you for that, having the time. Right.
And just really quick, I wanted to mention that you mentioned you're about to start on a larger project. Is that one that you're going to be keeping under wraps for a while, or is it something you're going to be looking for feedback on?
No, I can talk about it. So previous year, I made a game called I can't remember what it is now. But it was a soldier game where you had to dig tunnels in World War One. And I've just got the go-ahead from my university to spend a year making a fully fledged version of that game. So that's really interesting and fun. So that's what I'll be working on next year. So,
Is it this one here, 20 Days?
Yes, 20 days. So
Nice.
that game there was made in GMTK last year,
Cool.
and it's top 10%. So it's pretty cool.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if you do want any feedback on that game or any others that you work on, then please feel free to check in on the Discord or submit them so that we can have another conversation like this on stream.
Will do. All right.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Talk to you later then. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.